And ladies and gentlemen, we are here in the first semi-final of the ESET UK Masters, spawning over here in the bottom left position as the red Protoss player. We have our German Protoss. It is AcRo. And over here in the top right position, ladies and gentlemen, we have our blue Zerg. Hailing from Sweden. Let's find out what he can do here. We have MTL's 1. So a very strong GM Protoss going up against a very strong GM Zerg. Both these guys have battled their way through incredible people to get here. Let me just give you an example. MTL1 defeated Sasquatch. We saw that game. MTL1 defeated AI's Real, Korean player, 2-0. MTL1 defeated Desro, 2-0, who has just come back fresh from DreamHack, and he's going to be going up against AcRo. Now, AcRo defeated Cyrilli, 2-1, and Cyrilli is actually a pretty good player from Spain. Defeated the Scooter, a Swiss player, 2-0, and then defeated FXO's Slavic. So that's actually a pretty decent road. I would argue that MTL1 might have had the harder road here, but that doesn't mean that doesn't actually tell us about their relative skill levels compared to each other, which is what we're going to be seeing here. So super excited to see what these guys have to come out with. We see a spawning pool going down 4-1 here, and no doubt he's going to be putting down his second hatchery as quickly as humanly possible. The problem is there is a probe here destined to make life as difficult as humanly possible for one as it currently stands, and the drone trying his best to chase the probe around to see if he can minimize the amount of disruption it does. But AcRo will eventually put the pylon down as well, and he's actually going for a Nexus first here. So going to try and make sure the wall goes up and a cannon goes down before those lings can actually go past and sneak into the main base and do a bit of damage. There are 4 lings on the way now for AcRo, and look at this, the probe actually blocking at the natural expansion location as well. This is so long without an expansion 4-1. He's going to be really frustrated. Is he going to be able to get it down at the third? Not quite. It looks like he got it down at the natural because we have had the pylon cancelled there, and now the 4 lings are going to be marching straight across the middle of the map, and the natural to natural distance isn't actually that large on this map. Needs to be a little bit careful, does AcRo. Looks like he's going to be positioning the probe there to try and stop those lings from getting in before the cannon goes down. The lings will be able to pop up here and maybe get a pot shot off on the ling, off on the probe, but I think the cannon should complete in time. And here we go. Here come the lings. Oh, walling himself in with the pylon there as well. It looks like the probe's actually going to go down. That's pretty big. And the cannon is going to finish in 3, 2, 1. So those Zerglings have to get out of there, and only 1 shot. That second pylon getting cancelled as well because AcRo knows that one can't get a Zergling into... I'm going to sound so wise through this entire cast. One cannot get Zerglings through walls when one does not have sufficient numbers. But that's exactly what one cannot do right now, because he only had those 3 lings. Did manage to kill off the probe, which is huge, and second scouting probe probably going to get picked off now as well. Yes, indeed. That's a great result, and one can be proud of it. Oh, this is going to continue for ages, isn't it? Third base finally going down 4-1. And AcRo, in the meantime, not enjoying the fact that he has no more probes left out on the map, no doubt. That's going to be very, very frustrating for him indeed. Worker supply currently 27-25 in favor of our Protoss player, but one will soon have a decent number of hatcheries to work out of. And when that happens, we should see a situation where one can get more workers than his opponent. There actually is very little I can say to make that not sound like I'm continuing the same joke, guys, honestly. There's the guy's name is one, but we'll see what I can do in the future. We do have a robotics facility going down now for AcRo. So he's going to be following this up, probably getting an observer and just checking out exactly what MTL1 is going to be doing. And in the meantime, double gas being taken in the main base, not at the expansion just yet. So now's going to be the time where MTL1 will be teching up. Another round of drones. It's good that he has some creep spread out into the middle of the map already. It's a pretty decent trek between the natural and the third. He really wants to try and close that gap as quickly as he possibly can. A couple of zealots doing very nice micro there on the links, picking apart one of the zealots, and the second one is going to be able to get through here. Third base, not really going to be threatened because that queen should be able to take care of it, no problem whatsoever. And here comes the Roach Warren for MTL1. And even getting an Evo chamber next to it as well. An Immortal being chrono boosted out from AcRo, from what I can see there. And he has got +1 attack. So this potentially could be some sort of timing. We'll have to wait and see. Second, oh wow, we have got 2 more gateways incoming. Are we going to see even more than that? Could this potentially be a little bit of an all-in coming in from AcRo here? The Overlord is going to see the robotics facility. Will it see the additional gateways? It's coming so close. It sees the pylon. It doesn't see the gateways. Okay. So Overlord only saw the robotics facility in the pylon. It doesn't see the 2 gateways on the other side of it, but we're only going up to 3 gateways at the moment. It's not like we've gone up to 6 or 7 or anything like that just yet. So AcRo isn't about to launch some sort of crazy timing, at least not in the next half a minute. We have got some Zerglings just going to be checking to make sure that AcRo hasn't taken a sneaky third base, which he has not. 2 more Immortals popping out now, and we do see a couple of sentries moving out from AcRo. So this could still evolve into something of an Immortal all-in, but I think the timing for that might be a little bit skewed. Let's see if that ends up being the case here. Stalker's just going to be moving out to do a little bit of potshot damage on those Zerglings. We are at 66 versus 78 supply, and the worker count is currently 61 to 46 in favor of AcRo, and a Warp Prism coming out as well. This could end up being an Immortal all-in, guys. 3 Immortals now out on the field, and a lot of sentries coming out. I think this might be a 2-base timing coming out from AcRo. And the Stalker, which was seen by 1, might try and put him off into thinking, oh, this isn't actually some sort of timing, when in actual fact it is. And he doesn't see the units moving out. Okay, he does now. That's a lot of sentries and a decent number of Immortals. He sees a probe as well, and the Warp Prism is soon going to be joining the fray. So if he didn't know the timing was there before, he certainly knows now. The Warp Prism is actually going to go straight through this Overlord, which means AcRo will know that 1 probably saw the army moving out into the middle of the map. So let's see what he does about that. We have a decent number of Lings and Roaches moving out into the middle, seeing if he can catch AcRo off guard before this happens, but AcRo sees it with the Warp Prism. Oh, trying to pick up reinforcements. 2 sentries immediately going down. That is not good news for AcRo. This 2-base timing just got an awful lot weaker, a lot fewer force fields to work with. 3 more gateways going down. Can he try and support it with more? Good pickoffs there from MTL's 1, and now he's even picking apart the forward pylon. Here we go. The attack against the third base is about to commence. 1 is going to be attacking with Roaches from the third base direction and Lings from the other. It's going to be a sandwich. Maximum number of force fields are going to have to be used before any damage gets done to the hatcheries. 2, 3 force fields go on in the back. Another sentry goes down. More force fields in the front. The Immortal's trying to target down the Roaches. He's doing a lot of damage so far, but the sentries are slowly getting depleted as far as energy is concerned. Will AcRo be able to take this game? He needs to move forward and do substantial damage to 1, and he needs to do it right now, otherwise 1 is going to be able to run away with that supply. 17 Roaches and more Lings on the way, and it looks like MTL's 1 is in a pretty decent position here, but AcRo's attack is not over yet. He has that War Prism. He's continuing to make more units. He's got Zealots out at the front of this army now, which is great, especially if any Lings pop in. And the War Prism just going to be moving ahead to scout a little bit, decides to deploy itself. But we need to see this attack. And here we go. Looks like 1 is going to be the one attacking here. He does manage to get it with a couple of Lings, but they get picked off pretty quickly indeed. Good force fields zoning out those Roaches, but there are so many of them. 149 to 106 supply as it currently stands. Are there additional force fields available from AcRo? He needs to be able to push his attack back, and that Warp Prism is getting so close to dead right now. AcRo needs to warp in additional units. He's going up to 1,000 minerals, but not that much gas at the moment. He needs to be so careful. 108 to 128 supply right now, and he's warping in a lot of Stalkers to reinforce this attack. The Immortal's doing so much damage here, but the force fields are almost out now. Oh, and very nice micro back with the Immortals. And wow, keeping all 3 of them alive very well there. But now we have the remaining Roaches trying to attack the sentries. Is this going to be enough? Good micro coming out of here from AcRo, but he is forced back here. He needs more gateway units to reinforce his army, which is exactly what he's moving in with now. That is a lot of warp, and some sentries and zealots continuing to rejoin. He's at 106 supply versus the 123. There's no Ling counterattack from 1. It would be nice to see a small Ling counterattack against a natural during all of this, but he does need everything he can to defend right now. He has pure Roaches. The current army supply is 69 to 71 in favor of 1. Very even, but the Immortals are part of this army as well, and they are regenerating full shields. And here we go for round number 3. Good force field zoning out a lot of the Roaches. roaches on the right-hand side. Are they going to be enough? They're moving continuously in, and we have the Immortals being targeted down, but great micro there from AcRo once again, punishing the fact that one is just going for those Immortals and nothing else. And for the first time this game, guys, AcRo is taking the supply lead against one. The third base is going down. Great micromanagement to stay in this from AcRo, and he is going to be able to pick apart that third hatchery. What can MTL's one do now? He was looking in a pretty good position before when he baited out the force fields in the middle of the map and picked apart a couple of sentries as well, but now AcRo is going to be in a position where he can do so much damage. This is turning into a slugfest with AcRo gaining the upper hand in the longevity battle here. Do we have force fields? Yes, we do. About a third of the roaches getting zoned out there, and once again, these force fields have been fantastic from AcRo. Oh, really good job bunching up those roaches against the force fields. The Zealots soaking up a lot of damage, and I think AcRo might have this. One was in a good position early on at the start of the game. All the roaches are destroyed. Only drones are left, and that's not going to be enough. AcRo now up to 106 versus 80 supply, and MTL's one will be forced back here. Our Zerg player will not be able to win game number one. GG! AcRo takes game one.